Well, good evening, all my little digi fluffs. Renamon here with you tonight, and well, we're gonna talk about a game. Now, this is one that definitely spent a lot of hours on, and has a lot of different ways you can play it. So, mine here just does not want to be in the right place. Inside. There we go. Back with the other ear. Good enough. Stay out of the way. Anyway, the game we're going to talk about is on the good old Nintendo. One I certainly played a lot of hours on. That is Castlevania 3. Dracula's Curse. Yes, I had to look. I couldn't remember the subtitle. So, put them down there. It's all that hard work to have a visual. All I do is look at it for a second. So, this game I remember playing when I was rather young. It was definitely early on in my NES days, and I first played it by borrowing it from a friend, and I had trouble with it because it was actually my first Castlevania game. I'd watched someone play 2 before, never seen 1 at all, and I was still pretty new at platformers that involved anything other than jump on the Goomba. So here I was with a game where I'm throwing a whip out there or using special weapons or whatever at any given time, and trying to complete puzzles, kill bad guys, beat bosses. It was a new kind of adventure for me. So, at first I was really bad, but pretty quickly I started to get the hang of it, and I started to be able to cruise along in the game. And I got to really like all the extra characters you could find. Now, you get to be Trevor by default, Trevor Belmont, who's Mr. Whippy Whippy Pants, and he can have up to 4 different kinds of special weapons for his alternate, depending on what you find. Now, he's not your only player potentially, but you don't just get them for free. You have to win them. Now, the first one you have a chance to get is Grant. He's like in the 2nd or 3rd level, I think. It's an alternate level. You don't have to go there, but you probably should just to start off with a B team. Someone who isn't the basic guy. It gives you a few options. So, Grant, you have to climb up a clock tower, defeat him, and then he becomes your partner. You can switch off between him and Trevor as who you're playing as. Now, Grant only gets 2 different weapons. It's the dagger and I think the axe. But he can also climb on walls to some extent, grab onto things, which makes him a pretty good for mobility kind of situation. And once you've gotten at least decent at the clock tower, it's not really a waste of time to take your time to go up there and get him before you get onward in the story. Now, this game does have a lot of branching paths. There's not just one direction you can go to finish the game. There are actually several. And with varying levels of difficulty, depending on what you find more difficult. Now, once you've gone through that part, there's some of the splits coming up. You have the option of going towards where the wizard Cephia lives, can be acquired. I think that's how you say it. It's been a long time, I'm sorry. But you can get the wizard person, who has like just a stick as their main attack, but they also have 4 different spells they can use, similar to the spending of the special weapons like the axe or the dagger or the boomerang or holy water. So that's an option. You can go towards getting the wizard, but to get the wizard, you have to give up Grant. You can only have one backup buddy. So you have a choice. Keep Grant, get wizard. Up to you. Now, after that, you otherwise you have the option of going towards where Alucard, I won't say that right apparently, is, who is, well, a vampire. He is probably my by far favorite of the trade-off people. I'll start with Grant, but then I'll go towards where he is, snag him, and say, "Lady Grant, you head on back to your clock tower. Do whatever you want to do, dude. You're not my buddy anymore." Because Al there can transform into a bat, which, climbing on walls is cool and all. Skipping all that and just flying past, way better. That, and when his basic attack gets powered up, he gets more fire shots out of his cloak. So instead of like a whip, he has little fireball plops that come out. He's definitely fun to be. And usually after I get him, I spend most of the game after that being just him and saying, "Trevor, you just hang out in the chill room yourself. Your B team is taking the lead." So it was not long after that, or from the other direction. Shortly after this point in the game really starts to get harder. And I never actually beat the game, but I have gotten to the final boss, so I'd say close enough. Beating the game in my eyes is not the end-all be-all with, did you enjoy yourself? I find it's more important to say, yes, I had fun on the game, as opposed to, yes, I killed the main boss and got to see the credits. So I've gotten lots of hours playing this game, taking different paths to get to the castle, going through different roundabout ways, and it's interesting. A lot of different ways, a lot of different bosses in the whole game, a lot of different fun challenges, and overall, it's a pretty good ride. From what I found out later, it's very similar in style to the first one. Just a lot better control, a lot better mathed out bad guys, and a lot larger of a game. Comparing it to the second one, totally different monster almost. Yeah, still side-scrolling, guy with a whip kind of game, but 2 was... That was when Nintendo was a lot on the experiment side. They were trying different things on the sequels, and it definitely did not have anywhere near the same vibe. In fact, there were a lot of times where 2 just kind of felt like it was kind of just there, whereas this game felt like, I'm a game, yo. I am here to be played. So, yeah. I don't regret the fact that I wasn't a 2 player. I do own it. I got it used at some point, and it's sitting on the shelf. And who knows? I might play it one day, but not this day. This day was... Well, this day is recording, so it's not today. Anyway, that was a fun game. I definitely recommend it if you get a shot. But, yeah. So, definitely thank you for watching this video. I appreciate everybody for sitting around and staring at my cute face while I gab about. Definitely request you like, comment, and subscribe. In the comments if you want to talk about if you played the game, how much you thought about it. I'd like to know. I know it's a bit of an oldie, but I'm sure some of you have done this game before. And ring a little dingly bell. Makes YouTube happy and it'll alert you when I put new videos up. And my Patreon link is in the description below. And I appreciate every penny that's given. And I use it to better the channel whenever possible. Okay, well for now, from this fluffy Rena, I'm definitely going to bid you all a good farewell. And I hope to see you all again on the next video. For now, stay digital.